Hey there everybody, redxparasite here, and welcome back to Let's Play Metroid Prime 2. In the last episode, we came here to Agon Wastes, we defeated the bomb guard, and we got our bombs back, and now we're here in the Agon Temple energy controller. And there's a message waiting here for us. Welcome. I am Isha, sentinel of the Agon Temple. This message survives my death, as guidance to one who would fight the Ing. A portal to Dark Aether lies nearby. With it, you can travel to this land's shadow. You must locate a Dark Temple, a twisted mockery of this sacred place. Inside you will find the energy controller you seek. The temple door is held fast by 3 locks. The keys for the locks are hidden throughout that dark land. Your search will be difficult. Even the very air of Dark Aether is dangerous and can cripple the strongest of warriors. In our past struggles with the Ing, we placed a series of light crystals throughout their world. They remain today. These crystals create safe areas that will protect you from the harmful atmosphere of the Dark World. I have updated your translator module. You can now access devices and doors coded with amber holograms. More lands are open to explore. When you have taken the energy from the Dark Temple, return here at once. May the light of Aether serve you well. So, it is worth noting that the translators themselves are actually part of the completion. So you'll see we're at 6% of the items, even though we only have 2 missiles, 1 energy tank, and the morph ball bombs. So the energy transfer module and the amber translator both count towards our item total as well. There is a lore entry hidden in here, so make sure you get that if you're going for the logbook completion, or if you just like the lore like I do. Luminoth lore translated Paradise. Aether was a fertile, aged world with bountiful fields and oceans. The native creatures were gentle compared to the other worlds we had encountered. We settled in a mountain region at first, in cliffside dwellings. In time, we established settlements in the green forest of Torvis and the fertile plains of Agon. A great temple was built between our great 3 domains, a place of peace and a monument to our accomplishments. It was the time of harmony for our people. So we're starting to get to the end of the Golden Age series of scans. So we'll see basically their story of what happens, when the meteor impacts and the Ing come to be. So we can now go around the sides. Once you come back to this room, there will be war wasps in it. But you can just ignore them, as long as you have the scan for them, you don't need to worry about it. So here are the shriek bats here again on the other side. And out of convenience, we're going to try to take them out before we walk forward. So, our first stop here is going to be... Oops, I did not mean to use both, or 2 missiles there. We can now open this door here, so behind it is the map for Agon Wastes. Oh, actually it's not a map. I lied. The map is in a completely different location. There's missile expansion in here, so make sure you pick that up. This room will not have Lumites in it. Okay, so our next destination, we're not going to head back just yet. We're going to actually head straight for what the Luminoth at the temple wanted us to do. So these are just more kinetic morph ball cannons. So in this room, however, on the other side, if you roll into this area, but don't go into the cannon, there is a missile expansion here. So that's a pretty easy one to get as well. The Luminoth corpse here. Now we have this room, which is the portal terminal, which consists of a long puzzle. But before we do that, we have some space pirates here. Now these pirates are just your regular old pirates. But of course, you know, they couldn't avoid being possessed by the ink for too long either. So yeah, all of the dark versions of Light World enemies are just possessed by the ing. Typically, they're stronger than their Light World counterparts. This is a Dark Pirate Trooper, Darkling Possessed Space Pirate. Enhanced strength and stamina gained from addition of symbiote, dislikes bright light. Pirate Troopers already trained to follow orders without question were perfect candidates for ing possession. Darklings moved to take every trooper they could, expanding the army of the Horde considerably. Space Pirate technology struck a chord with the Ing, who now hunt actively for gadgetry of any kind, especially weapon systems. So whereas the old pirates took only 2... Ooh, whoa. You are kind of glitching out on that ramp there. Only took 2 like charge shots or missiles to take down. These guys take 4. And you can tell they're much more active shooters as well. I was kind of fighting them in closer combat, which did not help, so I took quite a bit of damage there. There is a Luminoth lore here. Light of Aether. We're getting close, you know, to finishing the Golden Age. The main energy controller was built in the Great Temple. 3 sub-controllers were built in the temples of Torvus, Agon, and Sanctuary. They collected the energy of Aether, then radiated it over the world to all who needed it. In time, we came to call this precious energy the Light of Aether. It brought an age of peace and prosperity to the Luminoth. So, now we have the puzzle. If we scan this bomb slot over here, you'll see it's in a state of dimensional flux. 50% of its component atoms are in another dimension on the surface of Dark Aether. So we can activate it in this dimension at least. It's got a bunch of rings. And also scan, these. Telluric alloy, which we can destroy with bombs. Is that everything? I think so, aside from this. So this is what we'll need to scan in order to activate the portal. However, there's currently no power to it, so we'll need to fix that. And thus begins the slow puzzle of riding up elevators. Very puzzling. So just blow that with a morph ball bomb. And it'll rotate this and spawn in a few war wasps. So we'll just get rid of them. Yeah, we've already scanned it, so we're good. And we get to ride up another elevator. Invigorating. Well, this is their way of getting you up higher, since you can only go so... I did not want to do that. Well, we're going to have to go up some of those elevators again, I think. Yeah, it's too high up. You know what? I'll see you where I messed up. Okay, let's try that again. Once more with not screwing up. Alright, cool. That works. So, one thing you'll want to do in this area is that you can scan these pill bugs before you enter the morph ball tunnel with them. This is the easiest place to get this scan, so just make sure you do it before you go inside. They do show up in other places, but they're inside of morph ball tunnels that you can't actually scan them from, so... pill bugs prefer to dwell in dark caverns, so they can exist in lit areas. Navigating with a series of sensitive antennae, they roam through caves in search of moss and fungus. Pill bugs can move rapidly and will ram unwary targets to clear their path as they search for food. A pill bug can be jarred loose from a surface with a concussive blast. Doing so will reveal its vulnerable belly. So, once we hit that last bombable thing, it will cause the clouds to suddenly part, which is, very fortuitous for us. But you can use these 3 sun lenses, and then it'll power the portal as we need it to. So, if you jump up into the light, it will also blind you temporarily. Which is another nice touch. So, now we can finally scan the portal. Now, unfortunately, the game's going to drag you into this one automatically with a cutscene. The portals are scannable objects, so we'll just have to wait until we see another dark portal until we get that scan. Which may actually be us just coming back from the Dark World later on, but we'll see. There are plenty of portals throughout the world, so don't worry about getting these scans super early. There are plenty of opportunities to do so. Not a missable one either, so... Ah, it's soda! It has carbonation! This is not good for us. Dark Aether's atmosphere is dangerous, you don't say! Glowing safe zones protect you from Dark Aether's atmosphere. So basically what the game is telling you is, safe zone's good, Dark Aether's atmosphere bad. Which is pretty much true. Once we actually go out into it, you can see how bad it is. So if you just scan this again, you can go ahead and get the light portal scan right now. This portal is active. Walk into the portal, initiate return transit to Aether. Light portals allow living beings to travel to Aether without being disrupted and scattered throughout the interdimensional void. They are unstable, however, and only remain viable for limited periods of time. Some can be reactivated, while others vanish forever once they are used. So basically what that's saying is that there are one-way portals that you can use in one direction, but not the other. So here we have blade pods, which are another type of storage container, just for the Ing this time. Living storage units of the Ing Horde. These Ing morph their bodies around useful items to protect them. They rely on larger Ing for protection. As they have no way of fending off enemies, damage from all weapons will harm them, but light-based weapons are superior. So I'm not going to destroy these just yet. You can see that our health drains pretty quickly in the Dark World here. Now the light crystals will slowly replenish your health. However, it's only about 1 HP per second, so it's not a very quick way of restoring your HP. But you can theoretically sit around and camp in one of these crystal areas and get your health back. So this is a Luminoth light crystal that the Luminoth at the temple was talking about. Generates a field of protective light energy. They provide protection for Dark Aether's atmosphere. They can be nullified by dark energy and supercharged by light energy. They were created by Luminoth during their war with the Ing, and many still remain in use. Dark creatures despise the crystals. Some are injured or killed by the field they create, which is worth noting. There are also light beacons, which basically serve the same function as the light crystals. However, they need to be shot in order to be activated, and they will go out after a certain period of time, so you will need to reshoot them if you want to stay in the same area. Light beacons must be energized by beam weapon fire to function and remain charged for a limited time. The beacons were created when the Luminoth ran short of light crystals during the war. While simpler to make, the beacons were also unstable. They had to be energized periodically and could run out of energy at critical moments. Still, any protection was better than none for the Luminoth warriors. So, we've been kind of standing around in the safe zones for a while, so we haven't really needed to recharge our energy, but don't think there are any more scans in this room for now, so we'll just hit up this bomb slot. And what it'll actually do here is not only does it free up our path in the dark world, but you can see it did so in the light world as well. So we have a new type of enemy here in this room. These are Inglets. A worker drone of the Ing Horde. Wall-crawling, morphing bioform strongly dislikes bright light. Inglets perform the menial labor of the Horde, but can be pressed into a combat role if there is a need. They are amorphous blobs, capable of clinging to nearly any surface. Inglets can fire bursts of dark matter in self-defense, though they prefer to avoid battle. They seldom travel alone, and can be dangerous in large numbers. As with all Ings, they dislike bright light and will avoid it if possible. So, just one charge shot will take the Inglets out. That's about it. So there's light crystal right here. Only thing to do is just progress forward. Oh, there are more Inglets in this room. Now you can shoot them while they're still in their puddle form. You know, they won't be firing at you, which is good. You can't lock onto them while they're in their puddle form, but you know, they won't attack you, so kind of the pros and cons of that. So we're a little bit short of 20 minutes, but this is a good... Oh, hey, new scan. So here are night barbs. Flying airborne hunters native to Dark Aether. Targets are small but travel in large numbers for safety. Avoid contact. This is why, since their primary predators are huntering. So, yep, I think this is a good place to cut out the episode. It's a good stopping point for me because I need to save and quit the game. So, thank you very much for watching this episode of Let's Play Metroid Prime 2. I've been redxparasite, signing out.